Hi everybody, I'm Ben.
And I'm Mike, and we write songs together under the name The Kelly Line,
By the way, Mike's my dad.
which makes us a father-son songwriting duo. And when we're not writing songs together, we're generally chatting about writing songs. And we thought it might be fun to share one or two of those thoughts with you.
This week we're talking about the history of the Kelly Line and how our songwriting has evolved over time. Hope you enjoy.
So, Ben, The Kelly Line.
Yeah.
Have you
Good-
any idea?
good intro.
That's a good opening line. Have you any idea how long we've been writing songs together?
I thought it was 4 years, but then again, thinking about it, I think I've thought it was 4 years for at least 2 years.
I think that's probably
So,
about right, actually. Do you know, but incredibly, it's coming up 6 years. About now, actually, it was summer holiday, wasn't it? Sort of July, August time. It was 2014. Scary.
That's insane. It just doesn't feel that long.
Well, it is.
It feels like we spent a long time not doing a lot, and then over the past few years we've done a huge amount, and that kind of messes with the time. It feels like it's been stretched and compressed and stuff.
Do you remember that day?
Because
Do you remember where we were?
we were at Land's End. We were at Land's
On
End.
holiday? Do you remember what you just asked me?
I'd asked you whether you'd buy me a bouzouki.
And I'd said yes. I tell you what, I made you work hard for it though, hadn't I? I kind of quizzed you on why do you need a bouzouki and what additional benefit does it give you and things.
And I think I responded pretty well under the intense question.
It was just sort of a dad thing to do. I was always going to buy you a bouzouki, but I thought I'd make you work hard for it. And then I came out with a line, and I don't know where I came out. I don't know where I got it from, but I just said something along the lines of, "And is there anything else I can do?" And you said,
I'm getting sick of playing covers. I want to write original music, but I don't think you can really help with that.
and I said,
And then later that very day, you proved me wrong.
I did, and yeah, and I don't think it was very good. I think we should gloss over it. But yes, you're right. I wrote some lines that very day, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. I don't think they were bad.
Yeah.
I just think we've gotten better. We did spend quite a long time writing songs in that kind of vein. Like, we didn't have any ideas behind like structures and rhythmic stresses and like metrical feet and stuff like that. But like, we were having fun up until we wrote. I think you'll agree with me. We wrote "Blind Obedience."
Yeah, definitely.
Even though we wrote songs before that, which we still play and are like good, and like in fact, the next single we're releasing is gonna be Ballad of the Bee, which was written largely before then. We still both think of Blind Obedience as the first real song.
Oh, definitely. I think it's still one of the favourites, isn't it? And do you remember that was actually written, and it became a bit of a Kelly Line tradition. It was written Christmas Day night, wasn't it? 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like Boxing Day, kind of technically.
Yeah.
But it was Christmas. It was.
They'd all gone to bed, and we.
Even though it's.
They'd
not.
all gone to bed, and we wrote a song. But it's still one of my favourites. Give me.
No, I'm pretty sure Sam and Mum were both there for the start of it. Because I remember being like, you'd given me lyrics, and I was like, I'm not really sure what to do. Well, I think in my head, I was getting to the stage where I was like, I can't really keep going like the same like kind of folky style we'd been going for before. And then I remember just basically going like, oh, why don't I not go for the same folky style we'd been doing before? Why don't I try something different?
And we ended up with.
Blind Obedience.
Yeah. Go on,
back.
give us a blast.
And the sheep fall in a line as the blind lead the blind, and they'll all keep on searching but never will find what they're not looking for, and they don't understand with their eyes firmly closed and their heads in the sand.
There you go.
Although, to be fair, when I say why don't I not write a folk song, I did shortly after we wrote it go like, we could make this folky, because there was a sea shanty version.
Go on then.
And the sheep fall in line as the blind lead the blind, and they're look. And that was nearly what it was. I think Mum might have liked that quite a lot. I'm glad.
I'm so
sea
glad we
shanty.
didn't. I tell you, I will always think of it though. Do you remember trying to teach me it on the guitar, and it was A minor, E minor, and F into G? How did that go?
A minor, E minor, and F into G. It was lucky that the chords kind of
Yeah.
I managed to make it fit to the
And to
tune,
this day,
creating obviously the best song we've ever written. A minor, E minor, and F.
and to this day, when I'm playing the guitar, I still sing that in my head just to kind of remind me. And I think Blind Obedience. You're right. We had written songs up until then, and you actually said, I don't know if you remember, but you said we were having fun, and we were having fun. But I think Blind Obedience cemented it into something a bit more kind of, I don't know, not formal exactly, but we were on the road then.
We're like, oh, yeah. We were. I think by writing that song, we realised that some of the songs we'd written before were in like a lower league. We were like, oh, actually, we can do this at a higher level. It kind of showed us there was a high level.
Yeah.
Which was.
And there was no looking back from that moment on. And tell me this has always intrigued me. So what are your mates? What do people make of writing songs with your dad? It must be a bit weird.
No, to be fair, like. Most people I've ever talked to, it's not weird. It's really cool. I wish I could do that.
What, write songs with me?
No. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got offers. I've been hiding the letters so that he steals you away from the Kelly line stuff. No, they all think it's really cool. Like Jack, our bassist, is always going. Whenever I say, because like on stage, I normally say something along the lines of. Mike's actually my dad, which might not be the coolest thing on the planet, but hey ho, he's going, no, it is cool, you idiots. Stop like putting it down. It's a really cool thing. I mean, I still say the line because it's a line.
Do
but,
people?
Yeah, most people are really like either envious or like, oh, that's cool, I like that.
Do people find it at all strange though? I mean, how do you see it? Because I forget. I don't forget you're my son. Nor do I forget. I've got two sons, and I get on very well with both of you. I don't mean I forget you're my son, but I forget you're my son when we're writing songs. You're just another.
Yeah, because we're doing.
Yeah,
work,
exactly.
Kind of. I get on. I enjoy it. It's fun, and most people. Their question is, oh, when can I see both of you play on stage? And I'm like, when I can bully him into learning enough songs.
Well, Blind Obedience, I'm nearly there. A minor, E minor, into F into G. I could do that bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people just think it's really cool and wish they could do it or something similar.
It's interesting though, isn't it? That obviously it was when you said the other day when you were on stage something along the lines of. The perspective, the two perspectives, there's like 40 years difference. And I was like, going, hang on a minute, there's not 40 years difference in our age.
How many years difference?
It's 35, which is a lot, isn't it? We do see things.
If you're rounding it up.
But the bit that always makes me smile is when you sing the line. There's two bits actually that always makes me laugh. One is in Cowboy Song when I wrote the line and I laughed as I wrote it. I never was the favourite son, which I know Sam thinks is hilarious.
Wow.
But the other one is in Not So Long Ago. The line, for now we'll just agree to disagree, always makes me giggle.
It was not so long ago before the sun became.
I know why this is going wrong. I didn't have a cap.
It was not so long ago before the son became the father.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah,
I wrote that song and it kind of disappeared for ages.
Came back.
Recently, came back. Like we heard it again. Like I played it just because it was fun, and you were like, "Oh, it's sick."
Well, it came back in lockdown, didn't it? I don't think you would have played it had it not been for lockdown. But the bit I particularly like is that bit.
I play it at Porters a lot.
Yeah, I haven't heard you play it. I guess I heard you play it in lockdown. But the bit that I like is that line. For now, we'll just agree to disagree. But it kind of sums up the two different generations, really. I guess so.
Yeah, that's kind of like the point of that song. Not aimed at you. It was aimed at generations generally. But yeah, it was
not so long ago when you still framed the picture before those sides had been revealed to me. Yes, in time you'd see through my own eyes, but you'd seen it all before. You knew the whys and the way things just had to be. But since then my eyes have widened and they've seen things that you've forgotten, all the things that you've forgotten. forgotten how to sing. So for now we'll just agree to disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, interesting to think about it in terms of us rather than the kind of general generational thing I thought I was going for.
Yeah, but the other thing, of course, is from my point of view, is I'm a father and a son, so I've got that double sort of relationship bit there. People often assume because I don't stand on stage and play the guitar that I kind of write the words and you put them to music.
Yeah.
Do you get that assumption?
Which is, as in, do people make that assumption to me? Yeah, it's either as when people realise that you don't perform on stage, the assumption is more that you're the lyricist or like just sat in the background, doing like the really fine tuning work, and I'm kind of the what about this chord? Thing. More they assume more that you're the lyricist and I'm the musician when they first hear about the setup and know that you don't perform.
Well, that's true to a certain extent, I suppose, or it certainly was.
It was definitely true to begin with because I couldn't write lyrics at all. I could barely write music, and you are already a writer anyway. It just kind of made sense to begin with. For us to fall into those roles.
And we kind of moved on though. I mean, I think it probably was that relationship of lyrics, music, but from what would you say was the kind of turning point song?
Probably Easy Come. I think because I wrote 3 verses. One of which was you were like, oh, that's quite nice, and then 2 of which you were like, these probably could be tweaked. And I remember then we kind of took the verses that I'd done and a chorus that you'd done, and then the next 2 verses, which I think only ended up being 1 verse in the final song, we kind of bashed through together.
I can't remember the detail,
but
I do remember that you come with some stuff already written for pretty much the first time, really, pretty much.
Funnily enough, I think not so long ago might have been earlier.
I don't know.
But I don't think we did anything with it. I think I just brought like a verse.
Easy Come is
and then we
still one of my favourites. I can remember how quickly it went from an idea into a song because you guys were playing your first festival, which is how I remember it. And I don't know if we wrote it on the Thursday and then you played it live on the Friday. It was like it was almost as quick as that, wasn't it? That we said, oh, you got to play it.
I mean, we played it with the old verse, like, before we tweaked it.
Yeah, we did. We rewrote it, yeah.
Yeah. It was a very quick turnaround from it going to being, like, an idea to being a song that we performed as a full band, which is pretty
I like the chorus, though. Give us a blast.
I don't know, easy come and easy go. I won't miss what I never knew I had. So I figure it makes sense just to sit here on the fence. It's just a little too little, a little too late for me.
I like the chorus too, but I definitely it's the bass line and the music and underneath the verses which I really like. That I like the fact that goes down on the verse, and Jack can play it much better than me. But
I tell you what gave us a nudge forward as well, because in those early days when we're talking about sort of 2015, 2014, certainly it was just you, and it was just you and a guitar, and then you just mentioned Jack. So by now you've moved. You're now in Cardiff. You're now playing with Jack, Yestin on the drums, Connor on lead guitar. It's a different sound now, isn't it? So I know in my head, because I know you're going to perform. So I don't write. I don't write songs for me. I write songs for you. So So I'm either writing songs for you as an acoustic solo artist or as a band. And this is very much a period now where the band are in full throttle, as it were.
Yeah, the kind of last bits of university when we could practice every week, and we could, whenever we gigged, we'd go, oh, that song didn't work very well live, let's try a different one, and kind of hone the set really well. A golden age.
But we're writing for a band
we're,
now, aren't we? We're writing for a band as opposed to a solo artist, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and we're writing specifically for that band, because we'd written songs before where we'd gone, this needs electric guitar and drums and stuff like that. But I'd kind of, the band in my head was me. It was what I was going to play or tell people to play. Whereas now I knew kind of how Jack would play the bass. I knew what things Connor's good at on guitar, like the things that when you go, oh, that's really good, like his bluesy little guitar solos. And I knew that Yestin was pretty much the drummer that we wanted in terms of he could play really fast and quite complicated, but also he absolutely smash the drums, and also could do backing vocals. Like that band, that setup really suited what we were writing for at that point. We were writing specifically for that group,
and we end up with the Sum of the Parts EP. I hadn't really sort of consciously sort of thought of that, but Easy Come was essentially the start of Sum of the Parts. There's a definite period for me. Do you remember it was our wedding anniversary and we went away?
Can you just clarify? It was yours and Tom's wedding anniversary,
okay,
not ours.
Okay, although I call her Rach, but it was me and your mum's wedding anniversary, and we didn't have a party or anything like that. It was 25th wedding anniversary as well, big wedding anniversary.
We went to Bryn Mawr.
Yeah, we did.
A little cottage in Snowdon.
And we wrote loads.
Those who don't know.
Wrote loads that week. But there's a big moment for me because we're writing collaboratively, no question about that. But there's also we'd really moved on, and there were two songs in particular, and I remember saying to you, "There's a song," and you were going, "No," and I was going, "Trust me, it's a song," and
I didn't think it wasn't a song. I thought it was like, it didn't have that something to me at the time. I was like, it's missing something. It doesn't excite me.
But then ditto.
I assume we're talking about all the wrong things.
Yeah, indeed. But at the same time, we're talking about all the wrong things. So give us a blast then, so people know what we're talking about.
I'll just play the riff because it's cool. That's pretty cool. I liked that. I just didn't think it was very us.
Well, give us a...
And I thought that it was quite easy for it to descend into a pretty average song.
Play the... I'm hurt. But play the opening... Sing the opening couple of lines.
You're thinking, no way I'll resist. You're not the only girl I kissed. And I think that you might find that I'm really not that kind. Forbidden fruits wait to be tasted. All those nights I've ever wasted.
I think that might have been one of the first times I decided that I liked diminished chords a lot.
But you were going, at the same time, you were going, no, that's not a song. But here's a song. I've got a song. Here's a song. And I was going, nah, that's not a song. Do you remember?
I had a chorus, walking up a mountain, nearly dying. It's quite easy to remember having this mantra in your head to stop yourself from fucking fainting.
I'm not old, but I am getting older every single day. I'm not brave, but I am bold now in so many different ways. And I am flawed, but I'll keep moving on. I know I'll be okay. Looking forward to tomorrow, glancing back at yesterday.
Yeah, I remember you were about the same level of enthused about that as I was enthused about all the wrong things.
Yes.
It's not that either of us were like, no, I really don't want to do this. It was just that I think we were both excited about
the other one. Yeah, maybe. But there's definitely changes taking place here because you're just about to leave university and move on into the big bad world, if you like. We're now writing for a very much with a band in mind, and a particular lineup in mind. We're definitely writing songs collaboratively now, not me writing lyrics, you putting them to music. But for me, there's a kind of real trust developing that I'm going like, trust me, it's a song. And rather than just ripping it up and saying, nah, you kind of went with it. And ditto, when you came up with, you got to the top of a hill about, I was going to be nice and say 40 minutes after I got there, an hour and 40 minutes.
I don't think that's true at all. I was supporting Mum.
I've got a song. I've got a song, and we ended up with those. I mean that EP kind of captures that moment in time of that band and that sound at that moment, and that's where those two songs came from.
Cool. I think I would quite like to play us out with.
Let me guess. Let me guess.
I can't let you guess because I've just said it. I want to play Another Bloody Crossroads out because it's like basically my favourite song we've ever written.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely fair, and it's very much a you song as well, isn't it? I tell you, the one thing I would say about Another Bloody Crossroads is, and this for me sums up how we collaborate, is that people assume that there are certain bits that you would have written and bits that I would have written, and we're never going to tell them, aren't we? We've agreed, that's the pact. We're never going to tell them who writes which bits. But I think people would be very, very surprised as to how that bit came about.
And now, here's Another Bloody Crossroads. Another bloody crossroads, and more than 4 directions I can take. Another choice that I must make. I'm not old, but I am getting older every single day. I'm not brave, but I am bold now in so many different ways. And I am flawed, but I'll keep moving on. I know I'll be okay. Looking forward to tomorrow and sit back at yesterday. Greener might be futile, but I've got to chase the goal. I'll write my own script, not the lines that I've been sold. And I'll weave into my story all the things I want to do. Not the well-worn paths I know too well. I'll venture somewhere new. I'm not old, but I am getting older every single day. I'm not brave, but I am bold now in so many different ways. And I am flawed, but I'll keep moving on. I know I'll be okay. Looking forward to tomorrow, glancing back at yesterday. Stay another night, another day. 9 to 5, do my time, make my pay. But I'm not waiting for a Friday, I am living for today. I'm not following the followers, I'm making my own way. I'm not there, but I am getting closer every step I take. And I might not, but now I know that it's a chance I've got to take. And I'm not perfect, but I'm trying, yeah. I know I'll make mistakes. It's a choice I've got to live with. It's a chance I've got to take. Well, I'm not old, but I am getting older every single day. I'm not brave, but I am bold now in so many different ways. And I am flawed, but I'll keep moving on. Now I'll be okay. Looking forward to tomorrow, glancing back at yesterday. I don't have to, but I want to, and I need to, so I will. I don't have to, So